Up. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is Johnny North.
That's me.
WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. We are here every week with you talking professional wrestling. What a week this is. It feels like we're on the eve of WrestleMania or something. The next week in wrestling will change the game forever, and we're going to preview everything that's happening in the WWE. Of course, AEW TV coming out next week. We're going to preview that on Dave and Johnny Live. Go watch that on the YouTube channel. Always watch that space, the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. You could go to our official website, ringsidereport.net, for more information on that. All our videos are up at ringsidereport.net. Very easy for you to do. You can go watch the stuff there, right? And we're going to be having some new shows coming up to ringsidereport.net, some new shows to the channel with all this new wrestling. We really don't have enough time to cover it all in the 1 hour format that we put out for the radio side, that we put out for the podcast as well. So we're going to add some stuff coming up. So stay tuned to Dave and Johnny Live. That's where we make all the big announcements. Go watch Dave and Johnny Live, and you'll hear all the announcements. And then over the next few weeks on Wrestling Uncensored here, you'll see some changes. You'll hear some changes, and you'll notice, certain things missing, but then certain things added. There's going to be more content, basically, for wrestling and Wrestling Uncensored and the Ringside Report Network, because as pro wrestling gets bigger and expands, we expand as well.
I guess the main thing is to go to the YouTube page to make sure you can find all the content. That's the main thing, ringsidereport.net. You need to go to that YouTube page to find everything, because just 1 hour of Wrestling Uncensored might not be enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of content going on that YouTube page. Of course, we got MMA covered as well with Ringside Report. We talk about celebrity boxing. You watched Ringside Report this week, Johnny North?
Bits and pieces. It came on a bit late when I wanted to watch it, so.
Well, we make you wait. We're worth the wait.
A little bit, yeah. But I couldn't watch all of it, unfortunately. But I did see the celebrity boxing. I'm surprised you gave it so much time. You cover that more than local MMA almost, it seems.
Yeah, would you like to see more local MMA covered on Wrestling Uncensored?
I feel like there's a TKO event coming up soon, though.
Sure, and we'll talk about that. And that's something we could talk about not on Wrestling Uncensored, John, because we really don't have time to waste, right? We have to get right into it. There's so much news going on. It's WWE Premier Week coming up Monday night. They're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. And then on Friday night, October the 4th, it is the big Smackdown premiere on Fox in Los Angeles, California. Staples Center. Big deal. Big matches. Brock Lesnar wrestling on TV for the first time in 15 years.
He'll also be on Monday Night Raw, but not wrestling.
Yeah, he'll make an appearance on Raw, but over the past several years, we've seen a lot of Brock Lesnar. We've seen him as champion. We've seen him on the pay-per-views. We've seen him wrestling there, but only there. We've seen him on those special WWE Network events. He goes to Saudi Arabia, he wrestles. He goes to WrestleMania, he wrestles. He goes to the Rumble, he'll have a match there. Maybe Extreme Rules if he feels like it. But Brock Lesnar on SmackDown wrestling in a match? That has not happened, according to the WWE, in over 15 years. And I believe that. It's not happened in a very long time, that's for sure, over a decade. But WWE saying 15 years. You can't always trust their math, but I'm taking them for their word on that one.
I think 2004. It seems about right, roughly,
Seems about right. So Brock and Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. That's coming up on SmackDown on Friday night live. So SmackDown has been on Tuesday nights for the past several years. It's been live for the past several years on Tuesdays. And now it's moving to Fox from the USA Network in the United States, which is a cable channel, to Fox, which is one of the main four networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. Those things still exist, and WWE is going to go on a major network.
Live.
Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the first time ever.
It's huge. It's big. This is like a pay-per-view pretty much on television.
I think everybody's trying to put on a pay-per-view this week on TV, right? AEW's got their big TV show. They've got a jam-packed card. WWE Raw, they're trying to do a big show. NXT is going to be big on Wednesday night as well. You got an NXT championship match. Every title is being defended on their respective show in the WWE coming up this week. Seth Rollins is going to defend the Universal Championship against Rey Mysterio on Raw. Adam Cole is going to defend the NXT title against Matt Riddle on NXT on Wednesday night, which is the first Wednesday they go up against AEW.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar is challenging Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship on Friday night on SmackDown.
And then October 6th, the Sunday, Hell in a Cell, where the Universal title should be defended inside Hell in a Cell.
Seth Rollins versus The Fiend, as of now,
right,
is the match.
That's huge. That's big.
It is pretty big. Will it be the match next week when we're previewing Hell in a Cell?
I think so, unfortunately. As much as I like this Rey Mysterio run, I think it's great. I think it's amazing that they gave him all the way to the Universal Championship. I just don't see him winning the championship on Raw. If anything, I hope The Fiend will just interfere and there will be no contest so he doesn't lose yet, because I think they should keep this run going.
I do like this run, and I agree with you. I think they should keep it going for Rey Mysterio. I think they should keep it going further, though. I think they should give him the championship.
Do you think they will, though, this Monday?
It depends how scared they are.
Okay.
How afraid are they? Are they worried enough to really shake things up? Or are they just going to kind of keep on going the way they do? Because the WWE formula here would be either A, Seth Rollins beats Rey Mysterio with a curb stomp, which is fine. He's Seth Rollins. He beats everybody, you know.
He does.
Rey Mysterio, he's 44 years of age, a little bit older in his career. He's talking about retirement, right?
Many times.
And the WWE recently, you know, these older wrestlers, they kind of, you know, when they're wrestling, they kind of job them out. When they show up every now and then they're monsters, right?
Right.
But when they're active members of the roster, they're not pushed to the top level where they become a champion.
Sting is a great example.
Sting, when he was wrestling, you know, he didn't get the title. But look at Kane last week even, right? Kane comes back.
Yep.
If he were wrestling full time, there's no way he's beating up all of the OC and just, I mean, he was chokeslamming AJ Styles and all his guys left and right, no problem. But if he's wrestling full time, that's not how they book him. Undertaker's a good example of a guy they keep very strong, one of these older wrestlers, but that's because he's not around all the time. But it seems like if you're around and wrestle more often, like Kurt Angle.
Right.
Like Kurt Angle wasn't treated like a superstar legend on the way out. I mean, he was beat up pretty badly, right? That match with Drew McIntyre was pretty sad. And where's Drew McIntyre now?
The Baron Corbin match, obviously, people will never forget that.
Yeah, but the Drew McIntyre match was almost worse because Kurt Angle just had no offense in it, and he looked pathetic.
Well, he lost his own move, too, so.
Yeah, I mean, Drew McIntyre treated Kurt Angle like he was just a low-level guy with absolutely no skill or experience, and it was kind of sad to see Kurt Angle booked in that way. And it didn't even feel realistic, you know? It was just odd. The Baron Corbin thing as well, when he got beat up and retired by Corbin at WrestleMania. And now we have Rey Mysterio, who's had some wins. He beat Grand Metalik, he beat Cesaro, and he wins this fatal four-way match, or fatal five-way match on Raw this week, right? He beats AJ Styles, Robert Roode, Nakamura, and Ricochet.
It was elimination, not a fatal, but...
Weren't they calling it fatal, though? I thought they were calling it a fatal five-way. Whatever. Elimination, five-man elimination match, right?
Right.
He wins.
Surprisingly.
It's a surprise. I thought maybe AJ Styles.
Well, I was hoping Ricochet, actually.
Ricochet and Seth, yeah, sure. You give him a good little match. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what this is, too. You give him a good little match. and you think that's enough to satisfy the fans. I don't know if it is. I'm not sure it's enough to shake things up and get people talking about your show. You have an opportunity on Monday night to get everybody talking about the WWE. You have an opportunity to start the week, one of the most important weeks in the history of the wrestling business, because AEW is starting on TV on Wednesday night, opposite NXT, and SmackDown's going to Friday on Fox. Like, all this is coinciding in 1 week. It's pretty major. The WWE has the opportunity to jumpstart everybody on Monday night and get everybody talking about them first. Putting the title on Rey Mysterio would get people talking. And AEW put the title on Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is like one of the few peers that Rey Mysterio has left standing in the wrestling business. And he's just as respected and just as loved by everybody in wrestling as Chris Jericho, if not more. Everybody loves Rey Mysterio. Everybody respects Rey Mysterio. Everybody would be happy to see Rey Mysterio just beat Seth Rollins and become champion. Does he have to hold the title forever? No. Does he even have to go up against The Fiend at Hell in a Cell one-on-one? I don't think so. I think you could make that a fatal four-way or a triple threat very easily. You put Seth in there, you put Braun in there, right? Because The Fiend attacked Braun Strowman at the end of Raw. Braun Strowman had Seth Rollins beat at the end of Raw. He had the Universal Champion beat in the main event of Raw. He had him up in his slam, and The Fiend shows up and attacks Braun Strowman. There is a beef there. There is a history there. Seth Rollins, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, whatever he's called, one-on-one in Hell in a Cell, I'm not that into it. But Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, The Fiend at Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell triple threat match, or Rey Mysterio, The Fiend, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman in a fatal four-way Hell in a Cell, that's way better. That's more fun, right? It's a better match. With Rey going in as champion, like, that's crazy. And Rey could easily lose it. Lose it to The Fiend. Rey doesn't even have to get pinned. Lose it to Braun. Lose it back to Seth. Do whatever you want. But shake things up a little. There's no shame in losing to Rey Mysterio. He's a living legend. There's no reason not to put the title on Rey Mysterio. There's no reason not to have Rey Mysterio beat Seth Rollins. He doesn't even have to beat him clean. Have The Fiend help Rey beat him somehow. Why does The Fiend keep showing up and attacking the guys that Seth Rollins is with and not attacking Seth Rollins on Raw? It's weird.
Well, I think he's saving him for Hell in a Cell. That's the whole idea, I think.
I don't like it.
I understand that, but you also believe the WWE Championship is going to change hands Friday night when Brock Lesnar faces Kofi Kingston. So do you actually believe they'll change the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship in the same week? I have a hard time believing that.
I don't know if the WWE Championship is going to change hands on Friday night.
Really? Because last week, I think that's what you pretty much said. It's like almost a lock. Brock Lesnar's going to be champion.
Well, when you put Brock Lesnar in there, you can't, and Kofi's been champion since Mania, you kind of think, oh, man, here we go again.
A lot of people are thinking that.
Here we go again.
And you have every right to think that way because it's Brock Lesnar. This is what he does. He just comes in here, wins championships.
And then goes away.
Yep, that's what he does. Exactly. But, however, because they're on Fox, maybe Fox will pay more to have Brock Lesnar on almost every couple weeks.
They do have more money. Now, Pyro is coming back to the WWE, right? Pyro is coming back to TV, and that was a budget cut years ago. They're bringing the Pyro back because they got tons of money. They have new sets, new everything. I don't know if you noticed, even SmackDown looked different this week. The cameras are new or the shots are different. I couldn't tell what was going on, but the look of SmackDown was way different this week.
I didn't really catch it, but
It looked weird. It was like choppier or something. I don't know what was going on with SmackDown this week. Somebody who understands technology or definition might be able to explain this better to me, but SmackDown looked weird this week, right?
I'll take your word for it. But maybe they're just trying new things. That's it.
Like cinematic almost. It was strange.
Right. Well, I'm sure with Fox, it's going to be different. It's going to look different.
Yeah.
It's going to feel different. But that's not a bad thing, though. I think they need that, Raw and SmackDown.
They need to shake things up. We don't need, here we go again.
I like that line, but okay.
You like, here we go again?
No, I like, it's time to shake things up again. Like Vince always said that for the draft.
Well, it is time to shake things up, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm getting amped up here, John, because the WWE, they've got to get some goodwill as well. Like, people need to like the WWE. They need to want to prefer them over AEW, you know? And you don't get goodwill by same old thing with Seth and Brock Lesnar becoming champion. Same old, here we go again. That's not how you build goodwill with your audience. I think you build the goodwill by keeping the title on Kofi because he's a lovely guy. He had an interaction where he was profiled on Instagram. I don't know if you read that, but it was a very interesting thing. Kofi just comes off as a good guy, like a decent guy. Family man, great wrestler, had tremendous matches with Randy Orton, right?
He did.
Really good matches. I thought his promo on SmackDown this week was all right. I think the promos still, there's like another level he can get to, but I don't think his promos are bad, you know? At least he talks. Brock doesn't even say anything, and Kofi shows up, you know? I don't know about giving the title to Brock Lesnar. I'm not a fan of doing that and then having Brock disappear. If Brock's going to stick around, you know, that's something else. But if it's another one of these, Brock takes the title and you don't see him again for a month, I'm not that into it. I'd rather use Brock on this SmackDown to get Kofi solidified as a top main event level guy who can beat Brock Lesnar. He will take out even Brock Lesnar with his Trouble in Paradise kick and pin him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. That's what I would like to see.
Wow, it's going to be amazing if we see that. But I throw this out to you as well, that even if Brock wins, who's to say he's going to be the champion on SmackDown? Because there's going to be a draft, right? Maybe the Universal Champion will be on SmackDown instead.
Okay, so that means Brock would be a non-existent champion on Raw.
Again.
Either way, we have Brock Lesnar as champion, and he's a guy that's just not often there, and people don't like that. And I don't think people want to see that again, right? Do you want to see it again?
To be fair, like, his stuff with Seth was really good. The way that ended off, I thought that was fantastic. I know it was kind of frustrating him not being there every week, but I think the payoff in the end worked. And to me, it was one of the most exciting matches I saw all year.
But it was a short little run, and he gave the title right back.
Well, I think he did good business that way. He put over a guy as well in the end. I know it took a while, but he did put him over twice, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
So,
and he didn't really get over on him at all because he beat him with the Money in the Bank, right?
Exactly.
He did put Seth Rollins over quite well there. How about putting Kofi over too?
Well, Kofi, maybe over time, maybe it would happen, you know. They could build this for a little bit. But I think one-on-one straight up, it's hard to believe that Brock Lesnar is going to lose to Kofi Kingston.
Why?
Because Brock, to me, it seems like he's a monster and he can destroy anybody. And Seth, it took everything for Seth to do it. Kofi, we haven't seen that from Kofi where he goes above and beyond.
Kofi just beat Randy Orton clean in the middle of the ring.
That was a personal grudge.
He entered a feud with Randy Orton, and he exited still champion.
Right, a grudge match. He did that, but with Brock, there's not much of a grudge. It's just like, I'm going to show you I'm better than you. I don't like his chances at all.
How about showing that he's better than him? It's like, you know, why not? He's almost 10 years younger than him. Makes sense. He's Kofi Kingston. If Seth Rollins can beat Brock Lesnar, why can't Kofi Kingston beat Brock Lesnar? Kofi's beat everybody else. He beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
Right.
Okay? He beat AJ Styles. He beat Randy Orton. His list is more impressive than Seth's. Who's Seth beat? Baron Corbin?
Braun
Strowman?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Big guys.
Yeah, really big
But
guys.
Kofi's beat some pretty good wrestlers.
Yeah, he's beating some talented guys, but big guys? Besides maybe Randy?
Randy's pretty big.
Yeah, but he's not a giant like Brock.
I think you just keep building Kofi. Build him up, build him up, build him up. For CM Punk to take him down.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
That's the part-timer I want to see beat Kofi Kingston. There are rumors. There are rumors out there that Punk may come back to the WWE. We have a bet, Johnny North.
I feel like Punk shut that down, though, saying that he's not coming back.
He would say that, wouldn't he?
Of course. But I still have a hard time believing. Don't get your hopes up is what I'm saying. I don't think CM Punk's coming back.
We made a bet a few weeks ago. If CM Punk was going to come back to pro wrestling, I said he was going to come back to the WWE, and you said he was going to go to AEW. We got some money on the line, Johnny North. And I'm excited because there's rumblings that Punk is going to go to the WWE, which means you're going to have to pay me again for another wrestling bet. This would be the third straight wrestling bet that I've defeated you on. So
I feel like this is going to be a no contest. I don't think he's going to come back at all.
no contest. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, if he never comes back, no one has to pay up, right?
Right. I think that's what's going to happen in the end. Really.
We'll see. So you think Rey Mysterio does not beat Seth Rollins?
It'll be a fun match, but no, I don't think he's going to win.
I think he should. Let's go, Rey. Shake things up. I don't think he will because I've watched so much WWE and my expectations are quite low for the creativity and the kind of, let's do this, you know? So, but at the same time, they know they're under pressure. They have a new announce team. All new announce teams for all the different shows.
Well, not really. I mean, SmackDown. Corey's still on SmackDown.
Yeah, Corey and Michael Cole now doing SmackDown with Renee as a special correspondent. Whatever that means.
Well, I guess because she's also doing the FS1 show with Booker T.
Yeah.
So she'll be with Fox, but not always there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. There's like a Fox Sports 1 WWE talk show that they're doing.
On Tuesdays, yeah.
Tuesdays. It's going to be like, I'm not really sure what it's going to be like. It's called WWE Backstage. Renee and Booker are hosting it. I think it's going to be like a half shoot.
Right. Well, they're going to say it is, but I don't know if I really believe that, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to treat it like wrestling's real, or are they going to be real about it, you know?
I guess they're going to sell it that they're exposing the business, but I don't know if they're really exposing it because I'm pretty sure a lot of it is like pre-planned. It's just like, oh, they're kind of out of character, but they know they're out of character, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like. We'll see, you know? Maybe it'll be like that UFC Tonight show. That's what I imagine it'll be like, but more pretend.
We've seen this in
More
the past
gimmick.
with WWE. They've done this for so many years, these like confidential, excess kind of shows, and like they're okay, but they're not great in the end. I wouldn't want to watch it every week.
So you think the bad things will happen, right?
We talk about bad things. Like, they're not bad. Brock winning's not a bad thing.
I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't know what it means for Kofi, you know?
I think Kevin Owens is going to win, so that's good.
Yeah, he's got to at this point, right? So you think Seth definitely, he beats Rey, or Bray Wyatt shows up and there's a thing?
I'm hoping for that, but more than likely I could see Seth just winning because it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think Seth just wins.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't love it. And Brock just wins?
I mean, it'll be closer than you expect. It won't be a squash, at least. It'll be competitive. But no, I think Brock's going to win.
I don't know, man. It's going to make people so mad.
That's fine. You can be mad. There's a payoff in the end.
Do they want people to be mad at them right now?
I think
Is this the time to upset your fans? I have never seen a company upset their fan base so much, yet the fan base just sticks around. We're like, come on. Come on. But they do it to us almost on purpose, you know?
Because there is a payoff in the end. You got it. Like, Brock lost in the end. Like, you get your comeuppance. It's just, every now and then, the bad guy's got to win.
Yeah, and that's cool. I just think Kofi's not done, and I worry about what happens to him if he's not champion. Where does he go?
Well, this is a great test for him, is it not? To see if he can come back and win the championship again, because we've seen a lot of these one-time champions and they just fizzle out. So for him to come back and face Brock and to beat Brock, that'll make him an even greater champion, a greater legend in WWE.
Do you think Brock is going to be the only title change we see this week?
I think so. I don't know. Well, I mean, we're counting Hell in the Cell, because there'll probably be some title changes at Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not talking about Hell in a Cell.
For, like, I think television, I think just Brock, yeah.
AJ Styles is defending his U.S. title against Cedric Alexander on Raw. Alexa Bliss is going to wrestle Sasha Banks, which...
That's non-title, though. It's no tag titles.
Non-title, but I think it's interesting. Adam Cole defending his NXT title against Matt Riddle.
Is that happening? Because they're saying that Adam Cole is injured. Because of what happened with Matt Riddle, because Matt Riddle put him in the Fujiwara armbar on NXT, so they're selling the injury. I don't know if it's legit, but
so the match is in question?
I think the match is definitely in question.
Oh man, you can't do a match in question. Gotta give me a match here. I want to see the match. I want to see Matt Riddle become champion.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have him face Roderick Strong instead if there's a problem with Adam Cole, and then he fight for the North American Championship instead.
Nah.
I know, but, if there's an injury, what can you do,
Legit injury, though?
I don't know. They're saying he's hurt.
Huh. I'd like to see Matt Riddle as the NXT champion.
It's kind of like way too soon, I think, but...
You think?
With NXT, you kind of win the championship so quickly. Like,
yeah. Is he not the top guy on that brand? I watch that show. I see the guys. To me, the top guys on the brand are Riddle, Velveteen, and Walter.
Well, yeah, I think Velveteen, in my opinion, I put him because he lost the North American Championship because of the Undisputed Era, so it'll be great revenge that he wins the NXT Championship. That's just the way I would book it.
Velveteen does make sense. He hasn't been NXT champion yet. I don't know. I'd say put everything on Walter. That guy's a monster.
Well, this is the hard part because this is NXT, NXT UK, and 205 all into one show now. So it's like three factions all facing each other.
It's a good show.
It's good and it isn't. Like, I don't know if you watched it from start to finish.
I did.
Like the way it's presented, like the first and the second hour that. Like, it starts off really good, but then there's somewhat of a dip, I find, because there's a bit of a switch between the brands.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really good, but then here and there is some, misses, I find.
Matt Riddle, Killian Dane in a street fight was pretty sweet.
It was, but I think that was the main event of the first hour.
Right. Yeah, the first hour was way better than the second hour. The second hour main event was Kushida and the Fashion Police.
Right.
Against Imperial, the three Imperial guys, but not Walter. It's like a four-man group.
Right.
But Walter wasn't there.
He came in at the end afterwards.
He came in at the end. He kicked Kushida in the head. In Adidas NMDs, though, so it's not that bad. It doesn't hurt that bad. I have shoes like that. They're, very thin. It's nothing.
Apparently they're saying Kushida was injured in the match, though.
For real?
Yeah.
Actually injured?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's really disappointing because Kushida is one of my favorite guys in NXT as well.
Well, I was disappointed because I didn't think the match was particularly a great match, too. So it's kind of too bad to get hurt in that kind of match, too.
That's disappointing. Well, we'll see, I guess, what happens to Kushida because that match with Walter was really the match they were building and something I was looking forward to.
Well, it was cool that we got to see local Quebec guys, 3.0. They were in action.
Everrise.
Cool. Everrise, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the tag name, but whatever. It's cool to see them wrestle. I thought they had a very good match.
Yeah, I like their match with Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Formerly 3.0, they're Quebec guys. They have the Quebec logo there on their trunks.
Yeah, the fleur-de-lis, yeah.
Yeah. I like it. You know those guys.
Matt and Jeff, yeah. Now it's Chase Parker and is it Shane Marvel or something now?
Martel. They're calling him Martel.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. They gave him new names. It's good. You ever wrestle those guys?
I wrestled Parker, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I wrestled Matt on like a cash-in kind of thing, like a Money in the Bank cash-in thing, but like it ended in a DQ.
What?
Yeah, because I tried to do a cash-in, like a Money in the Bank kind of cash-in on him.
Okay.
But there was a DQ because there was a hit or something because he had like outside interference. So that lasted probably like 10 seconds. I think.
Okay. So you really didn't have a match. You just had like a spot with him.
But Parker, no, I wrestled like a full match with him. It was good. He's very good. As you could see in that match, like his bumping is fantastic.
Well, he's in. They're both in NXT right now, which is pretty cool, right? Cool to see guys that that you've been around wrestling with in NXT getting their start, ever rise. So, good for them. Some Canadian guys, some Quebec guys that Johnny North has been around the scene with. I know they're buddies with Kevin Owens, right? I think Kevin helped him out, maybe.
They were in the segment with Kevin. Remember when Kevin was bowling on Raw, like I think last year?
Oh, yeah.
Or earlier this year?
How about Keith Lee and Donovan Dijakovic?
That was a fun opening match.
That was a pretty sweet match.
I think they've had better matches in the past, especially on the indie scene, but that was still very good. That like Canadian Destroyer they did off the second rope, that was crazy.
Man, Keith Lee's moonsault is pretty sweet too.
That too.
Off the second rope?
There was a lot of cool moves, like the chokeslam on the ring apron. Just a lot of like crazy like head drops too in the match.
And his finisher, the Big Bang Catastrophe, the BBC from Keith Lee.
It's good. It's just the thing is with that though, is like I find you hit more impressive moves and that's your finish. Like that's the only problem with it. The moonsault's more impressive than that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the hard part with it. Like a lot of guys, like they just have these like snappy finishers that they hit on everybody. That's cool, but like you hit like 6 or 7 moves that were way better than your finish. A lot of guys in the indie and NXT are like that.
Yeah.
AEW too, I think, is very guilty of that as well.
I think a lot of wrestlers do that. Where, they'll hit a move and then they'll hit their finisher and the other move they hit is more impressive than their finisher. It happens.
Well, that's where you got to have it where it's like, it's not always your finish. Maybe you'll win it with that move and then maybe sometimes that move can win it.
I think that's where sometimes you need a producer. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, hey, man, that one move that you hit as the finish, that should be your middle move. And that middle move you use, that should be your finish. And then that person should listen, and then just go on and be better. That's really all it is. You need like whoever backstage, a Dean Malenko, a Chris Jericho, whoever, somebody, some legend that's back there on NXT, I guess, whoever it would be, Albert.
Regal,
Triple H. Your finish is not so good. You need a better finish. Have you thought about the pedigree? It's really good. Seth doesn't want to use it anymore. I don't know what to do with this kid.
I did it the last pay-per-view we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. I just like to mess around with Triple H. By the way, happy birthday to Stephanie McMahon. It was her birthday this week.
I think it was Buddy Murphy's birthday too as well. Whatever happened to him?
Not as important as Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, I thought he was getting a push. It looked like he was somewhat important, and then suddenly gone again.
Well, you're not going to get that Stephanie McMahon push. Tell you that much.
Well, no, of course not. Stephanie come back on TV, and she's the biggest thing in the world again.
That's right. And Shane McMahon, too. Shane McMahon will wrestle Kevin Owens in a ladder match on Friday night. Smackdown is like a pay-per-view that you actually want to watch. Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston for the title. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match?
They didn't quite explain that correctly, though, that it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be at Hell in a Cell at first, but then they announced it later on after the show that it will be on SmackDown.
Well, that promo was very rushed.
Yeah, well, Kevin even said he botched it. Like, he admits it.
Did he?
Yeah, he said WWE, like, Universe.
Oh, okay. But at one point, Shane was like, what are you going to say here? Like, what do you want here? We don't have much time. Like, he was trying to tell him, like, hey, we're short for time. We got to do this Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks thing. There was like 7 minutes left in the show.
Right.
And they had to do this promo, and then they had to do the Sasha Banks attacking Becky Lynch at the end of SmackDown deal. So they had to kind of get on with it. I think the promo was just late and dragging, and Shane tried to speed him up. That's what it seemed like to me watching it.
Well, I think that's why things got missed or something, or Kevin rushed his lines, and they forgot to mention, hey, it's going to happen on SmackDown.
They probably had to skip things, on the fly. They had to do that. So it's a loser leaves WWE ladder match, and we're going to get to that match when we come back and continue to preview WWE Premier Week coming up. We'll tell you also who the new announce teams are. New people announcing Raw, SmackDown. NXT's about the same. We'll get to that and much more when we come back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. Stay with us. Oh, excuse me.
A lot of that going around. It's all right.
Yeah, can you tell I'm stuffed up? Can you tell I have a cold? Do I sound like it?
When we listen to the radio later, I will hear it.
Can you hear it now when you're talking?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You can hear it.
Oh,
eh?
yeah. It's okay.
Damn. God damn. Oh, sorry. What are you going to do? I'm a little bit sick. But you know what? I haven't taken a day off, haven't missed a show, haven't missed anything, watched all the wrestling. So, You're
all perked up. It's good.
That's right. I'm drinking coffee. Doing all right. What do we got? Should we go back to the show? Should we get back into it?
When you're good, let's do it.
Are you guys good? You guys ready? You ready?
I think so.
I think they're ready. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He's Johnny North. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. On Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. You can follow me on all the things at Dave Simon MMA. RingsideReport.net is the website you want to go to. Everything Wrestling Uncensored is there. You can watch this show if you're listening to us on the radio, if you're listening to us on a podcast. You can watch us. You can see us. You can see my cool Super Mario Kart shirt that I'm wearing. Apparently, there's a new Mario Kart game out. I haven't played it because it's for the phone. I don't like phone games. Give me a new Mario Kart game for my Switch, Nintendo. Anyways, if you want to see me and see what we do during the commercial breaks and all sorts of extra stuff and watch all the shows, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, all the good stuff. Thank you.
It's not really a new Mario Kart. It's like the Super NES Mario Kart, but just on the phone. So.
Seriously? That's what it is?
Yeah. I think
Whack.
they added new stuff, but it's the same thing, pretty much.
I don't need that. I've got the Super NES Mario Kart on my Nintendo Switch because they have SNES games on the online, free games, bunch of games.
Right.
It's pretty good. $20 a month. Free plug for you, Miyamoto.
And the amiibos that everyone can see all the time.
Yes, you can also see some new amiibo on the show if you're watching us right in front of me. The new set that came out last week.
Link looks pretty awesome.
The latest wave. Yeah, the Link is very nice. Johnny North, we have wrestling to talk about. All right, this isn't up, down, down. I'm not Xavier Woods. I'm not here talking to you about video games.
You didn't have video with Paige. That's too bad.
No, I did not. I am the father of Maria's baby, though.
So you're going to be a Maury. Awesome.
Yeah. I was behind the Roman Reigns attacks as well.
Ah.
I was also behind, what was that TV thing? GTV? That was me.
You're the greater power.
Yeah, I was behind GTV. I'm the greater power. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
I thought so.
I'm also the father of Maria's baby. I killed Undertaker's parents. It wasn't Kane.
Ah.
Katie Vick, whoever killed her, probably me.
It wasn't Kane.
No, I'm taking responsibility for all the WWE mysteries right now.
Nice. So you also impregnated Lita as well, I guess. Wasn't Kane.
Yes, but it wasn't my fault.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay? That was quite a span of years. If you're a WWE fan for many years, I think you will have enjoyed that last bit. If you're a recent fan, you may have no idea what we're talking about.
Watch Network.
Watch the network. All right, so the New Day beat the B Team this week. How about it? Who cares?
That was filler. That was beyond filler, that match.
How about Asuka and Kairi Sane coming back to SmackDown?
No Paige, though.
Where's Paige?
Gone?
Hey, guys. I don't know. Asuka and Kairi Sane beat Mandy and Sonya Deville, though. It was nice to see. Nice to see Asuka and Kairi Sane back. They were also part of the new lady job mob that chases Carmella around, right?
Yeah, Ember Moon, I think, is also part of that.
Ember Moon is part of the job mob. Mandy and Sonya are part of it as well. I think Sarah Logan is part of it. Dana Brooke is part of it. So Carmella rolls up R-Truth and becomes the new 24/7 champion on Raw. And now Carmella is being chased around everywhere by, the unseen women wrestlers, like the ones that aren't really doing much, right? Lacey Evans and Natty, they currently have a storyline, so they're not part of the job mob. But Sarah Logan, where has she been? Dana Brooke, she's not really around. Whoever's around. Did I see Tamina?
Did you? I didn't.
I thought I saw
didn't.
Tamina.
You could have. Very possible.
So all sorts of people, Kairi Sane and Asuka, right? Even though they had a match, they were also part of the job mob now, chasing Carmella. So it used to be, the Robert Roods or the Heath Slaters or whoever they had lying around for the men, chasing around R-Truth, Drake Maverick. But now Carmella is the 24/7 champion. Truth seems happy with it. He's still teaming with Carmella, hanging around with her, right? And, so now it's ladies chasing around Carmella. I like it.
Well, I didn't like how it all came together. Like, Carmella was like, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this. Like, we got to stop doing this, guys. So her idea is let's roll up True. So it's not guys. It's going to just be girls now. Because I guess guys, for some reason, won't go after Carmella, which makes absolutely no sense. Like, she pinned a guy, but a guy can't pin a girl? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I don't think most of the male wrestlers want to pin Carmella to become the 24/7 champion. I think they've given up.
Well, that's what it looked like on Raw. They just all look confused and like...
Well, how did they do it? How did they get it from a lady to a man?
$1 Million Man bought the title back from Medusa.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Medusa... What lady beat a man?
It was Kelly pinned Gerald Briscoe.
Kelly pinned Gerald Briscoe. When was this? This was a few weeks ago on the
Raw reunion.
Raw reunion show. Right. And then it went from a couple, Candice Michelle maybe, and then to Medusa.
Yeah.
And then Medusa sold it to the $1 Million Man. That's how they did it. Well, maybe they'll have to, I don't know. Let's just make it a women's title right now. Who cares?
I definitely think Lacey Evans is going to win the championship at one point.
The 24/7 title? Yeah.
100%.
I like how even on the ladies' side, the main event ladies don't care about the 24/7 title. Like Charlotte's there talking to Carmella. No interest in the 24/7 title. Carmella's in a match on Smackdown, and her opponents don't even want the 24/7 title. It was Sasha and Bayley, right?
Well, in the match, the rules are suspended for the 24/7 title. So...
Yeah, is that always the way, or?
I think so. Every time you're in an actual match, it's suspended because, like, she lost the match, Carmella, but she didn't lose the championship.
Right.
So that's how it works.
She did lose the match. Yeah, she lost. She got pinned,
but not for the title.
No, I mean she tapped out to the bank statement, right?
Right. Yeah, she did tap out. Yeah, but didn't lose the championship.
And then she was all beat up, and then Truth carries her out. Because she's being chased, which I liked. Like
right away.
Carmella, she got beat in the match. She's beat up. And Truth is like, oh, I got to get you out of here because here comes the job mob, and they're going to come and get you. That's a trademark, by the way, Wrestling Uncensored, job mob. I invented it. You can't steal that from me when you're talking about the 24/7 title, okay? That's a Dave Simon original.
I don't know, Matt. It's more of an insider term, job mob, so like they'll never use it, but that's fine. It's good.
What do you mean, insider term?
Like, they don't say...
Do you remember the Job Squad?
They don't say that anymore, though. They don't use terms like that anymore.
They did.
They did, but they don't do it anymore. I mean, the fact that we hear belt again, like, Becky had to bring that back.
Becky 2 belts. That'll never happen again, eh? With Becky? Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe Mania again?
I'm a little concerned about the women's tag team titles, because how's that going to work? If people are only going to be on one show, you're only going to have one set of women tag team titles for a show? How does that work?
That's true. If there's no more moving back and forth, the women's tag team titles will have to be on one show.
You're going to put all the women's tag teams on one show? There's not a lot of tag teams.
Well, perhaps that's why the 24/7 title is becoming a women's title.
That's an idea. Yeah. Wow.
You have, the tag team titles and the Raw title, say on Raw, and then the 24/7 title and the SmackDown title on SmackDown for the women.
Well, if anything, I'd keep the 24/7 title on Raw, because then you could put it on NXT as well. So that way, at least it floats around a bit. It'd be stuck on SmackDown, so I wouldn't put it there.
Because in the United States, I know a lot of people are listening to us in Canada. A lot of people are watching us around the world. If you don't know, in the U.S. right now, what's going to happen is SmackDown is moving to Fox, and Raw and NXT, they're on the USA Network. So the talent exchange, I guess, is going to be easier between Raw and NXT, and the wrestlers on Fox will probably just stay on Fox once this brand split officially goes down on October the 11th, and they have the draft.
Right.
So there's gonna be a draft, and then there's no more wild card rule.
Right. That's it. It's done.
So people are gonna be sticking from one show to another, which I like. It'll give us some idea of who is where and who to kind of focus on for what, right?
Well, it's good because we have multiple champions, right? We have a Raw and SmackDown champion, so now it actually means something when you see the Raw champion defend on the Raw show, because that's the only place you're going to get to see them now.
It makes sense. And they have some pretty big shows coming up this week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, everything that's going to happen in pro wrestling. I don't really understand how I'm going to be able to watch all of it because it's so much. Like, I watched 7 hours of WWE TV just to prepare for this 1 hour show.
We need to talk about this underrated match, though. Nakamura versus Ali that happened on SmackDown.
Oh.
It went under the radar, I think, for a lot of people. And that match was, fantastic.
Match of the week, right?
There was a lot of good matches this week, but that, to me, was my favorite match. And I don't think enough people are talking about how good that match was. Like, Nakamura Ali, that should be the pay-per-view match, I think, for Hell in a Cell. I know Ali lost, but he got cheated in that match. So there definitely should be a rematch, and I'd love to see that match again. It was fantastic.
I'd say of all the wrestling I watched this week, I watched everything, right? Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Mm-hmm. That was my favorite match. That dive that Ali did, where his feet went vertical and he landed on his head on Nakamura, and that was only by his pure force and just what a suicide dive. That was incredible.
That was nuts. And then he did another dive later on in the match after that. No fear. No fear whatsoever.
This guy and the rolling dive, he did a roll over the top rope and then hit the floor and rolled through.
Yeah.
The height, the agility is unbelievable on this guy. I have seen Ali for a while and been impressed, but this match was the first match where I've seen him and I've been blown away, completely blown away. This guy's amazing. I think him and Nakamura are magic together. There's something here. There needs to be more, and I think you're right. It did fly under the radar. They need to do more with Nakamura and Ali. He did get cheated. Sami Zayn provided a distraction. Ali was chasing Sami Zayn, who was interfering, right? Because Sami's Nakamura's manager, I guess, now. And then Ali runs back into the ring after getting distracted by Zayn. Boom, takes the Kinshasa knee from Nakamura. 1, 2, 3, he loses. Rematch, for sure. Fantastic match. Nakamura, too, cannot be understated how good this guy is. We got to give him more credit. People were all over Nakamura a couple years ago, and I feel like the hype around him has died, right? People aren't giving him enough credit. He's an unbelievable talent, and he had the match of the week on a week where there were a lot of really good matches. Keith Lee, Donovan Dijakovic. How do you pronounce that guy's name?
I think you got the last name right. I think you had it right, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a really good match. The 5-way on Raw, that was really good too. But
I like Chad Gable and Baron Corbin. I think that they have some good matches with each other.
Yeah, that match was good too. Chad Gable's an incredible performer, right? Chad Gable, Mike Kanellis.
Well, that was a squash. That was nothing.
Oh, nice suplexes though.
Yeah.
That overhead belly to belly. My God, he
Yeah.
Toss him across the ring.
Gable's amazingly strong. It's fantastic, like what he can do.
And now, of course, Elias on the screen sings a song about how short Chad Gable is and how, he's pathetic because he's short.
Corbin did the same thing on Raw.
Yeah.
It's all the short jokes, I know.
Yeah. It's not great. So Corbin's got a new gimmick as well. He's got a new cape and scepter and crown. King Corbin. He's got new music.
Sort of. Like just added royal kind of music into the current song.
Yeah, it's like a remix.
It's weird.
It's not bad, though.
I guess it's okay. Well, he's now officially King Corbin now, right? It's no longer Baron Corbin, just King Corbin. So at least they're going completely all in with the gimmick, which is great. I think he's one of the most hated guys in WWE, and they should do as much as they possibly can with him. But becoming champion, it seems like it's far away because Seth Rollins, he's been there, done that.
I feel like they're just building him up as a heel for a babyface to take down.
Yeah, I don't know which one, though.
I don't think they know which one. Whenever that babyface appears, that's what Baron Corbin is. He's just a heel for somebody to beat. And that's okay. That's totally fine. He's decent in that role. He's not terrible. He's not, I wouldn't say he's a future Hall of Famer, right? Maybe in 5 years he will be, but, doesn't have the body of work yet. He's not there yet. But he's, passable at this point. Improving, right?
Without question, I think.
All right. New commentary team on Raw. It is Vic Joseph.
You've seen him, I think, on the Mixed Match Challenge.
Yeah, I am kind of familiar with him.
Yeah.
Dio Madden.
I have no idea who this guy is.
He's John Madden's son.
Okay.
No, he's not. If you saw the guy, you would know why. He's like a guy with dreadlocks. There's no way he's John Madden's son.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't realize John Madden, went that way, but okay, that's cool.
Went that way. That's a weird way to put it. All right. So Dio Madden and Jerry the King Lawler.
That's great that Lawler's back.
People are mad that Lawler's back. They're like, oh, he's no good. He's out of touch. He's super old. But to me, he's the only recognizable face on this thing. And I don't know if Vic Joseph and Dio Madden are any good. I know Jerry Lawler has been good in the past. I know he died for this business, and we should show him some respect. I know he's got a questionable past, but hey, man. He was a Memphis wrestler in the 70s. Who didn't have a questionable past in Memphis in the 70s?
Well, you talk about questionable past. I mean, Vince McMahon himself has a questionable past, is he not?
There you go. So, people have problems with Jerry, but I don't mind seeing him on Raw. I like him. I like Jerry Lawler. If you tell me Jerry Lawler's going to be on an announced team, great. It's the same people... the same people that are mad that Jerry Lawler's back on Raw are really excited that Tony Schiavone's on AEW and Jim Ross. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. If anything, I'd love to see Jerry Lawler with those guys, actually. I think that'd be fantastic.
Be a better fit. And people will be so excited if that happened, right?
But
oh, Jerry Lawler, he's so great. It's like, wait a second. Didn't you just say...
That's weird. But you need Lawler on Raw because you need someone familiar with, because you're going to get these brand new voices and it's going to feel like, what the heck are these guys? Why do I care for them?
Yeah.
But, there's Lawler. That's cool. I like that at least.
What people don't understand about commentary is it's not really what you say. It's just kind of what you sound like. It's just the sound. The sound of it has to sound right. It's background. You're not always listening to the commentary. When I watch Raw, I usually watch it and I'm talking or I'm doing other things. You're not necessarily listening to the commentary as much as you're watching the matches and listening to the promos, right? The commentary, to me, is not that important.
Well, it helps explain the story of the match, but sometimes they don't even talk about the match itself. So
that's it. The commentary has become less important over the years. I'll take it back. I think commentary is important, but they've just made it so watered down that it's not that important anymore. So At this point, it's just kind of background noise, and Jerry Lawler, the sound of his voice, sounds about right for WWE Raw, you know? And apparently it's only temporary anyways. They're going to get somebody else in there. So once you're used to Vic Joseph and Dio Matt in there, they'll get rid of Jerry and put somebody else in there, David Otunga or something. Or Corey Graves, you know, they'll use him twice.
I don't see that happening because it seems like if you're on...
They do it now.
If you're on SmackDown, you're on SmackDown. That's it.
Okay. Whatever. Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that'd be fun, but hopefully Sammy's wrestling more.
CM Punk.
Do you wish? It's not going to happen.
That'd be pretty good. Even on commentary. So Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Renee will be handling SmackDown while Mauro Ranallo, Beth Phoenix, and Nigel McGuinness continue to do work for NXT. Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston for the WWE title. Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, loser leaves WWE ladder match. We both expect this to be the end of the Shane McMahon run, or at least the current run, right?
Well, I mean, you know, they say forever. Nothing lasts forever in WWE, so... I mean, Kevin can even lose this match as well, and I could see Kevin just come back on NXT or something like that. So, but I think Kevin will win this match because I don't think they want to completely destroy him. Like, they kind of hurt him enough as it is, put him in this kind of situation, I find. So, Kevin should win.
I like it. I think Kevin Owens will win. I think the match will be fantastic. How about this Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss match on Raw? I'm looking forward to this.
It shouldn't happen.
Because there's real tension, apparently, between these two. And now they're going to have a one-on-one match, which is what I was calling for last week. And I know I got a comment on YouTube saying I was wrong. That, you know, it's wrestling and they put their bodies on the line and you give your body to your opponent. But sometimes, if you know your opponent might be a little shaky, well, you got to be careful, right? You got to protect yourself. Or, I don't know, your opponent's got to be a professional, really. That's what it comes down to. If Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss can't get it together and be professionals and have a good match, they really shouldn't be in wrestling because the personal issues, the things that get real, that feel real, and then spill over into pro wrestling are the things that are most fun.
I just worry about the chemistry. I don't think there's really good chemistry between the two. We've seen them wrestle before in the past. I don't think this is going to have a good match in the end, a result. Like, it's just going to be a whatever match. And in the end, if they're just going to have, like, beef with each other, I don't know if it's really worth it. I think you're going to have more headaches than a payoff here with a good match.
Well, we'll have to see, right? But I don't know. People have made it work before. You know, I gave the example of Edge and Christian, they're buddies. Edge and Matt Hardy when they had their thing, you know, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart when they had their thing. They put their personal feelings aside and went out there and did business. They had a good match. That's what pro wrestlers do. Mako8033 commented. He says, "I'm sorry, Super Dave." I like that, Super Dave.
You wear a cape now, I guess? Like,
I'm super. Super duper Dave. How about, where's the duper? No duper? Wrestlers give up their bodies to their opponents in the ring. If you can't trust that, they won't hurt you, then it becomes too dangerous. Remember, it's choreographed.
I agree. As a wrestler myself, I think that if I put my trust and my body in your hands, I should trust that you aren't going to kill my body and everything else that comes with it.
Did Bret Hart kill Shawn Michaels?
Oh, he wanted to. I'm sure he really...
But did he?
He did not, because Bret's a professional.
Yeah. Brett didn't like Jerry Lawler.
I actually think he really liked him, actually. I think that was more of a work.
Even in his book, he talked about how he didn't like him.
Yeah, but
I
mean...
he was still working in his book?
I think he was. I mean, I think everyone has issues with each other. Like, we have issues with each other sometimes as well. I mean, you don't like that I like 50 Shades of Grey. I get that, you know.
I don't care. I love it. It's great for Dave and Johnny Live.
There's some aspects you don't like about it, but it's fine. Like, you know, we still get along, you know, for the most part, so it's good.
Wow. Unbelievable. Johnny North, we are running out of time.
That's too bad.
We still have a lot to get to, unfortunately. Like, there's still so much that happened this week and so much that is happening that we haven't even had the chance to talk about, such as John Hennigan re-signing with the WWE. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan is now official for Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan now with Roman Reigns, or is he? Roman extended his hand to help Daniel Bryan up, but Bryan slapped it away, but then went and got a microphone and said, hey, do you people want to see us wrestle together at Hell in a Cell against Rowan and Harper? Just give me a one-word answer. And then the whole crowd started chanting, yes, yes, yes. What's going on with Daniel Bryan? These are all questions that I guess we'll have to wait for the answer for next week, Johnny North. Or maybe they'll spill over onto Dave and Johnny Live. You can watch that on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. On Dave and Johnny Live this week, we do preview the first ever episode of AEW Dynamite, which will include the first ever AEW Women's Championship match, Cody Rhodes taking on Sammy Guevara, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks taking on Chris Jericho and two mystery partners. We will speculate on Dave and Johnny Live. Hangman Page and versus Pac, and MJF versus Brandon Cutler. All set for the debut episode of AEW Dynamite Wednesday night. And on Dave and Johnny Live, we'll tell you how to watch AEW Dynamite because there's news for Canada and the rest of the world that's not in the U.S. or England, right? But that's all the time we have for Wrestling Uncensored. Next week, we'll have more shows. We'll have new shows. And we'll talk about them, and we'll give you all the details. All right, for more info on all of that, follow him on Twitter, @NorthGenesis. Follow him on Instagram at GenesisJohnnyNorth. You can follow me at Dave Simon MMA. RingsideReport.net is our website. YouTube.com/RingsideReport, DOTNET. Like and subscribe. And before we go, Johnny North, I'm seeing the battle wounds from last weekend. What happened to you? Your eye is beat up. You got a nasty bruise on your arm. You got a nasty bruise on your side. And we'll show off all your bruises on Dave and Johnny Live, all right? That'll be another thing that we'll do on the show.
Okay.
You can watch that on Dave and Johnny Live. The battle wounds from Johnny North. You had a rough weekend, 2 matches with the Blood Hunter, and then Mike Marston last weekend. What do you have coming up?
I have an Indian strap match with Drew Onyx.
Oh, boy.
October 26th, 9001 Parkway Boulevard in Anjou.
Anjou, Quebec.
It's pretty close to Radisson Metro, though.
In Montreal.
In Montreal, yeah.
Okay.
Off the 40, I think. Very
Okay.
close to get to. Bell time is 7:30, October 26th, and tickets are $15.
All right, and I think a lot of the Ringside Report crew will be there supporting Johnny North. It's going to be a big one. Drew Onyx, Johnny North, and an Indian strap match. Oh, my goodness.
It's going to be brutal. It's going to be very violent.
I remember your last match with Drew Onyx. It was very violent. I can imagine what's going to happen this time.
It's going to be a good show.
Wow. All right. For more on that, follow him on Twitter, North Genesis, Instagram, Genesis Johnny North. You post the video for your last match?
It's on YouTube. People can find
Well,
it.
you didn't post a link on your social?
I retweeted it from the Hannibal TV.
Okay, good. So go check him out on Twitter to see his last match there with the Blood Hunter. And that's it. Thanks for everybody helping us out on the radio side. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. For Johnny North, I'm Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.